be showing you how to play Nindiya by Kaavish. There are two versions of the song. The studio version, which was recently released, and there's the Coke Studio version, which was released way back in 2011. So our guitar will be in a different tuning this time, not in a standard tuning. So our guitar will be tuned to E, A, D, right, followed by F sharp, A, D. Okay, so your first, second and third strings will be tuned D, A and F sharp. You can use a tuner for that, or you can use you can use a tuner for that, right? So in order to play the Coke Studio version, you'll be using your capo on the 2nd fret. If you want to play along with the studio version, you will be placing your capo on the 3rd fret, right? So I will be telling you how to play the song. Both are quite similar, both versions are very similar. We just little differences which I'll be mentioning, right? So without any delay, let's start. Right, so basically just two different patterns that you'll need to know to so we'll start with the first one. So first one is right. So in order to play this, we will be placing our middle finger or your first finger on the 2nd fret of your A string, right? And you will be plucking the you'll be placing your middle finger or your first finger on the 2nd fret of your A string, and you'll be plucking the A string, D string and your B string, right? So that's followed by placing your middle finger or your first finger on the 2nd fret of your A string, right? And you'll be plucking the A string, the D string and the B string, followed by 4th fret of your A string, and the same plucking pattern once again, so that followed by your open D string. So next you'll be playing, right? So in order to play that, you'll be placing your middle finger on the 3rd fret of your low E string, right? And you'll be plucking these strings, E string, open D and your open B. Now remember, it's right, followed by your 2nd fret of your low E string, open D string, right, and followed by your open B string, D string and your D string. So far we have learned right. So the next bar is the only difference between this bar and the previous bar is after you've played till here, you go to your 2nd fret the first time you play. But in the 2nd bar, instead of going to your 2nd fret, right, you go to your 5th fret and you play, right? So that's fifth fret of the low E string, open D string, open E string, G string, and your B string. So right, so the first time it's, and the second time it's, okay, so far we have learned right. Now the third bar is again similar to the first bar, exactly similar. So it's, that's where the difference is. So again the third bar is, right. After that it's, again it's similar up to here, but now instead of, or you'll be playing, so what you'll be doing is you'll be doing a hammer on from the open D string to your second fret of your D string, and you do a slide to the fourth fret, right? So followed by your open B string and a slide back from your fourth to your second to your open. So right, so all together it sounds like this. Right, so you can pause it here and you can, play along with this track. Right, so that was one part of the song, right? And you need to know one more part and we're all done. So the other part is, in order to play that, we will be placing our middle finger or our first finger on the second fret of our A string once again, and this time instead of, we'll be playing, right, so that's second fret of your A string, open D string, followed by your open E string this time. So third fret of your low E string, and you'll be plucking the low E string, D string, and a B string. Right? That's your low E string, D string, B string, and back to your D string. Next we'll be playing, right? You place your middle finger on the second fret of your low E string, and you play E string, open D string, and your B string. Right after you play this, you'll be doing a slide from the second fret of your A string to your fourth fret, followed by your open D string and your open B string. So after that, it's a slide from your fifth fret to your second fret. Sorry. Right? Right, so all together it sounds like this. this you'll be playing. Right, so it's similar up to here. Now after this, you go to your 5th fret instead of your 2nd fret. So right, so you plug the low E string, D string, and you open B string. So right, after that you play, right, so that's open 5th fret of your E string, low E string, open D string, your high E string, B string, and your G string. So right, so all together it sounds like this. Okay, so the final part is right, so everything is similar to what you learned just before this. So it's everything is similar up to here. Now instead of playing that, you'll be playing this, what we learned before earlier, right? So right, so that completes both the parts that you need to know in order to play the entire song. Now coming to the differences between the two versions of the song. First of all, in the studio version, the capo is placed on the 3rd fret, and in the Coke Studio version, you will place your capo on the 2nd fret. That is if you want to play along with the song. Now, the other difference is, this is in the studio version, it's played a little bit faster, and the other difference would be in the first bar, that is right. So by the way, whatever we've learned till now is entirely for Coke Studio, with just the capo should be on the 2nd fret instead of the 3rd fret, right? Okay, so now the difference. So instead of playing, you will be playing right. So instead of that, you'll be playing for your studio version. So that's the only difference in the first bar. Now the next difference is, so when you play right, so this is the when you play it for the 2nd time, right? So instead of playing that, you'll be playing so there's just one minor difference, right? So you might have noticed. So what we are doing is, the last time when we were playing it, right? So instead of playing that, you'll be playing right? So that's one, and the other one is right. So instead of you'll be playing right, so it's now the final difference is when you play this, right? So there's one variation in I think the second time you play this whole bar. If you hear it, if you pay close attention to the song, you will figure out the difference. Otherwise, you won't. So it's this is the usual way of doing it. Now, the difference in the second time when he does it. So it's right. So there's a little pause, right? In the when you slide down from the fourth to the second, you pause there for a while. Then you do a pull off. That's one way of doing it, and that's the second way, right? So it sounds a bit confusing, I know, but if you listen to the song again and again, maybe the third time you'll figure it out, right? So keep practicing, and this is the end of the lesson. If you have any questions, any doubts, you can leave them down below, any requests. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.